Good afternoon everybody, welcome to my channel. Today we are cooking slow pot chilli. What you need for your ingredients is 2 onions, olive oil for cooking, and 300 ml of water, salt and pepper, 2 packets of stock cubes, 2 tins of beans, 2 tins of tomatoes, 2 tins of kidney beans, minced beef, tomato puree, garlic and chilli con-carne seasoning. Okay, we'll start off by chopping up the onions. Now you can chop the onions of whatever size you like. This recipe is really good at this current crisis as it's a one pot. It doesn't take much ingredients and it's a large chilli con-carne, so you can feed an entire family, or you can have it, which is really preferable for the next day, which will taste much better. Okay, so it's not really hard to chop an onion. It's you chop it as much as you like. As you can see, my skills are not actually fantastic due to the fact that I keep cutting myself. Please take your time if you're using a sharp knife like I'm using, and just keep chopping away until you've chopped up all your onions. What we've got next step is 300 ml of water in a jug. You can use whatever chilli con-carne mix that you've got. What you need to do is make sure your water is cold, and then you add in your chilli sauce packets. And then give it a good mix. Okay, once you've mixed it up, mixed up your chilli con-carne packets, it should look something like this. Okay, the next thing we need to do now is heat our frying pan. We're not going to add any oil at this moment, so you need to have it on high because we're going to be cooking the mince, and we don't want the mince to retain water. Okay. Best way to tell if your frying pan is getting hot is put your hands over the top. And we're going to open our mince. That's heating up lovely, and we're going to add the mince to the frying pan. When you add your mince, make sure you break it up. And what you don't want to do is stir, because if you stir, that will then set the frying pan to go cold, which will then create moisture, which will then stew your mince instead of frying it. Okay, so as you can see, I haven't stirred the pan, so we haven't got any water residue in the frying pan. What you need to do is to stir it. It doesn't really matter if all the mince is not cooked, because it's going in the slow cooker and it's going to be cooking in there for quite some time. What you want to do is to break the mince up as much as you can. You don't want big massive chunks in your chilli, but if you prefer to do that, you can do that if you want to. Do it as every way you want to. What we need to do is to add a bit of seasoning to it. We're going to add our salt and pepper into it. So season it to your own taste. Our family likes a lot of pepper, so that's what I'm putting in. And salt. It looks like I'm putting a lot in, but it's not, because these are fine grains. Okay. Now I've got it to how I want it. There isn't a lot of fat in this because it's extra lean, and if you notice at the start I never put any oil into it. So we haven't got to drain it at this point, we can put it straight into our slow cooker. Oh, we're going to put it straight into the slow cooker. If you notice, there's no fat in this, so we don't need to add any. And that's part one of your chilli done. Okay? And we're going to add a little bit of olive oil to the pan. And we're going to add our chopped onions. You don't need to add chopped onions if you don't want chopped onions. You can add any vegetable that you fancy. And what we want to do with these onions is to cook them on a medium to low heat until they are translucent, stirring them occasionally. So now, as you can see, the onions are nicely browning. What we don't want to do is to burn, so we're going to add a few ingredients to this pan. I'm going to add, because my children love it, it's a little bit of garlic pepper, and because my grinder wasn't working so well, I'm going to add some pink Himalayan salt, just a little bit. And because I'm being a bit idle today, I normally do chopped garlic, but I'm using already pre-prepared chopped garlic. And if you notice, we do like garlic in this house, and garlic is really good for you. So I'm going to add 2 spoons of garlic, and I'm going to stir that in. And we don't want to cook it a little, you don't want to overcook it, because it's going to, as I said, cook in the pan. So we're just going to give that a good stir. And then what we're going to do now is add that to your chilli pot. The onions are now translucent. We've added a little bit of salt and pepper to it, and we've added our garlic, and then what we're going to do now is add that to our mince. This slow cooker has been preheated. And then what we're going to do now is give that a stir.
One sec. Go.
Okay.
And then 2 extra seconds of pan time.
The next thing we're going to add is some tomato puree. Now this is again to your preference. I'm going to add the rest of my tube, because there's not that much left in it. And then we're going to stir that around, try to incorporate it in all your mince. As you can hear, my slow cooker is frying at the moment. We're going to next add in 2 stock pots. I like the stock pots because it adds more flavour to your chilli. So we're going to add that, and then we're going to give that a little tiny stir again. Not necessary, but I like to stir it. And then, next thing we're going to add, make sure that you give this a little whisk, because what will happen is the ingredients will settle at the bottom of the jug, and we want to capture all that nice flavours. So what we're going to do is give it a good whisk, and then we're going to add that to the pot.
So you can mix.
And then we're going to give that a little bit of a mix. Now what you're thinking now is, there's not a lot of water in there, how are you going to make a chilli from that little bit of water? So what we're going to do is we're going to add some more ingredients to it now. So the first two things is 2 tins of peeled tomatoes. You can have them chopped, you can either get your own tomatoes fresh and take off the skin and chop them yourself. I'm just going to use 2 tins of tomatoes, and we're going to add that to the pot. Now these aren't chopped, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use my spoon and chop them up. As I said, you can have fresh tomatoes, chopped tomatoes, or the plum tomatoes. It just gives you a little bit of added work, but that doesn't matter. So we've chopped up the onion and the tomatoes as much as we can, and then we're going to stir them in. And as you can see now, we're getting more liquid in our chilli. Okay, there's 2 more ingredients that we need to add. Next thing, 2 tins of beans. So we're going to tip them in. Okay, this is a really good recipe, guys, if you're on a budget, and it's all store-bought ingredients. The only fresh things in this is your mince and your onions, and I mean, if you want to, you can add frozen mince if you need to, or not have the mince and have it as a vegetable chilli, and add as many things as your ingredients that you'd like. The last thing is 2 tins of kidney beans. Now these kidney beans have been emptied into a sieve and washed, so you need to take all the liquid out of them and wash them, and then just add those in and give that a stir. Essentially, this is your chilli. It is not cooked by all means. I've set it to high. You can set it to low. If you set it to high, it's going to take you about 3 hours. If you're high, if you set it to low, it's going to take you 6. The longer you cook it, the better results you have. Make sure that every half an hour you go in and you stir it, because it will stick to the bottom of the pan. And then what I'll do, I'll be back later to show you the next step of this chilli. Okay guys, a few hours later, so about 3 or 4 hours later, this is now the completed chilli. As you can see, it's thickened up nicely, and this is what you end up with. For sides, give it a quick stir. We have Doritos, any flavour you like, but this is what my family prefer. And we've got cheesy garlic bread. We've also got onion rings, and we've also got chips. Obviously we're not going to put all of these in together because chips will take longer, so these are going to go in first. But this is what we have with our chilli. If you want anything else with the sides, then you can have that. My guys don't have guacamole and relish and all that that goes with it, but you can choose to have that. And if you look down on the floor, here's my lovely stone protecting my cooker. Okay guys, what I'm going to do now is put that in, and then we'll show you a finished product when it's completed. Right guys, after a few hours of cooking, this is a presentation of what my chilli looks like. This is my daughter, she didn't want it in a dish. Obviously my son is a pig, So he's having more than everybody else. And this is my partner's. Hope you enjoyed this cooking. Storm.
Storm. Stormy.
Sit. 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 Oh, it's a good boy. Can I have your paw? This is my beautiful 2-year-old dog and his name is Storm. He's a bit of a handful sometimes and he's molting terribly, but we love him. Yeah, good boy. So our Storm is an Alaskan Malamute and you can see him now eyeing up his chicken for later. He does eat a carnivore diet as much as we can. We do introduce biscuits and wet food, but mainly his diet is chicken, raw chicken.